Hi guys, my name's Christy. Thanks for joining me. My goal for this video is to offer some information that you might not already know. And then my hope is you'll follow up with this information and explore it on your own if you find it interesting. So today I'm going to talk about breathing. And this is totally interesting, at least to me. This is my favorite book on breathing up until a couple years ago. It's actually now, I would say it's tied #1, but it's called The Breathing Book. And it says good health and vitality through essential breath work. So the reason I love this book is because it does talk about the mechanics of breathing, as well as dysfunctional breathing patterns that many people have that they would totally not know about, which would be chest breathing, an inverted breathing pattern, a breath holding pattern. So it is unbelievable how these type of dysfunctional patterns affect our health in general, our emotional health, our ability to think clearly, as well as our physical health. If we aren't breathing correctly through our nose and by using our diaphragm, then there are all kinds of ailments. So the reason this is now tied for first is because I just read a book called Breath by James Nestor. And this is what I want to tell you about. It was phenomenal, blew my mind. I thought I knew a whole lot about breathing. There is so much I did not know about breathing that was really not just informative, it's entertaining. So James Nestor is an investigative journalist. So with this said, with the information you get, although he offers a wide variety of information on breathing, he also can write in a way that it's entertaining. So it's an easy read, at least for me. It was an easy read. I really think you would enjoy it. You can also check it out of the library. You don't have to buy it. Get it for free from the library. But here is a general description of the book, or at least my interpretation of it. I'll do my best. I'm going to have a series of videos on this because I can't get it all in one. But here we go. This is what I want to get across today, is that the way we breathe totally affects our health. So at the very beginning of the book, James Nestor and a friend of his, who he's coerced, together do an experiment where they plug their noses for 2 weeks so that they can only breathe through their mouth. The experiment is supervised by the chief of rhinology at Harvard. So they got multiple blood tests. They tested all kinds of things, their blood oxygen saturation, their blood sugar levels. So their snoring, their sleep apnea. So what happened immediately by plugging their noses and only breathing through their mouth? In the first day, blood pressure increased dramatically. For James Nestor, it went into a hypertension. Their blood oxygen levels decreased. Their heart rate variability decreased. You want your heart rate variability high. So when it's tanking, that's a problem. Their blood sugar levels increased. His sleep apnea, James Nestor will say, I developed sleep apnea when I've never had sleep apnea. They were tracking their sleep, and so he could see how many times a night he would wake up. With this disturbed sleep, you develop blood sugar regulation problems. If you have ever not slept well or gotten just a few hours of sleep, the next day you might feel as if you're ravenous, like very hungry. And if you were to take your blood sugar levels, like prick your finger and take a little meter to take your blood sugar, it would be at a much greater increase than it normally would. I've done this where I've only slept a few hours or 4 hours or less. The next day, I prick my finger to check my blood sugar. It is 30 points higher than it normally is. And if you're wondering, well, why do I care? You're going to gain weight. The higher your blood sugar, the more weight you will gain. So being able to control blood sugar also assists with weight regulation. Now, we could have a whole nother podcast on regulating blood sugar, but just by sleeping well, and you'll sleep better if you're breathing properly. So this was the beginning of the book, is this experiment where they plugged their nose and they only were breathing through their mouth. Now, this was so dramatic, the changes that they saw. I'm going to totally encourage you to read the book. It really should make anyone go, I need to make sure I'm breathing through my nose. The other side to that is as we are breathing, mouth breathers, it also affects the way we think. So it also affects our brain. So we have lower oxygen levels to our brain. We're not able to think as clearly. So there's a lot more to be said on this. I'll let that be it for today. But what I'd really like you to do throughout the day is notice if you're breathing through your nose. That's the first step. Have a great day.